What if the Chicago Bears are on the brink of making the kind of seismic shift that buries old legends and births new ones? Could the shocking echoes of 2018 be preparing to roar back into life, shaking the very foundations of Halas Hall? Who knows? Maybe this is the moment we've all been waiting for, when the Bears reclaim their identity and chase greatness once again. Hit that like button, subscribe for every electrifying development, and let us know, are you ready to see the Bears break free from the chains of yesteryear and rewrite the script of our future? Now, listen closely, because I've been hearing whispers lurking just beneath the surface of training camp. Inside sources are buzzing with talk of monumental changes on the horizon. There are rumors swirling around this team, whispers of a bold decision that could redefine the franchise's trajectory. Is Ryan Poles, the mastermind running the show, considering a blockbuster trade reminiscent of the Khalil Mack move from 2018? Are we about to witness a decisive shift that sends shockwaves through the league and sends Bears fans into a frenzy of hope and nostalgia? The name on everyone's lips? None other than Micah Parsons. That's right, this incredible talent has been at the heart of trade chatter as speculation mounts about his future in Dallas. A powerhouse linebacker with championship pedigree comes into play, one who could be the key to unlocking the full potential of this Bears roster. Just imagine for a moment what Parsons could mean for us. Adding his intensity and skills could propel this defense to elite status. Much like when Mack transformed our squad into a menacing force, it would change everything. So ask yourself, does Ryan Poles feel that same fire? The belief that we are standing on the precipice of greatness? As Bears fans, we are uniquely intertwined with the legends of our past, the echoes of Walter Payton's victorious runs, the ferocity of Brian Urlacher stalking opponents, and the jaw-dropping returns from Devin Hester illuminate our rich heritage. We've suffered heartbreaks that sting, like the infamous double-doing, leaving scars that the passing of time hasn't healed. But right now, right here, there's a palpable energy brewing, a promise that feels like a distant roar edging. Ever closer. What if the Bears push all in? What if Ryan Poles makes that call? We could be staring at a franchise-altering moment, with the possibility of shoring up this young defense while providing Caleb Williams with the support he desperately needs to grow into the quarterback of our dreams. But what if it all backfires? What if this high-risk gamble leaves us even further from what we crave, an elusive Super Bowl victory? And if Poles does trade valuable assets for a player like Parsons, can he truly be the missing link between contention and mediocrity? Think about this. Every time the Bears have gambled big, it's been with equal parts hope and despair. Because in this league, nothing is guaranteed, especially for a team with a history where high hopes have often been dashed right when we thought we had it figured out. So here we stand, a fever pitch of uncertainty mixed with the thrill of what could be. The clock is ticking, the rumors grow louder, and with each passing moment, we inch closer to a definitive decision from Poles. Will we see a fiery determination to imitate the past while learning from its mistakes? Can we finally overcome the haunting shadows of our football history? Or will this be just another whisper carried away by the wind, buried alongside dreams unfulfilled? Stay tuned, because part 2 is coming. And trust me, you won't want to miss what unfolds next. Listen up, Bears fans. It's time to reclaim the legacy that's been painted in blue and orange. To stomp our feet and shake the rafters at Soldier Field, because we know better than to let fear creep in like a phantom from the past. It's about believing that this time, through the smoke and the mirrors of off-season hype and so-called experts scribbling predictions on their notepads, we remain the heartbeat of this franchise, the loyal few whose faith has been forged in the fires of heartbreak and redemption. And damn it, we know that just one weekend can set the tone for a season filled with undeniable promise or soul-crushing despair. So when I say, we will not go quietly into that good night, I mean it. Now, let's dive deeper. Let's peel back the layers of uncertainty still clinging to Halas Hall like the Chicago fog. Because amidst the hopeful chatter of our stud quarterback and an invigorated coaching staff, there lies a specter from our Storied past that threatens to haunt us again. What if all the optimism surrounding this squad is merely a mask for the same old hell narrative dripping in doubt? What if we're just one last-minute blitz away from the all-too-familiar sight of our dreams crashing down like a frigid wind cutting through our long winter? You can bet the locker room feels the pressure players exchanging sidelong glances, wondering if we're destined for the next chapter of agonizing disappointment, much like we felt in those agonizing games against the Packers, Lions, and Vikings, who must be licking their chops as they sense our apprehension, relishing the suit. Idea that perhaps the Bears are once again standing on a precipice, frozen in indecision. Now imagine if this season becomes another reminder of losses etched in the back of our minds. Remember those gut-wrenching moments, the double doink that still haunts the late-night conversations, a bone-chilling ghost echoing like a siren call, reminding us that potential can be a cruel trickster. Yet, is the pain we endured, the very roadblocks built by unspeakable injuries and heartbreaking refereeing decisions in 1985, 2006, and 2010, a guarantee that this year has to be the same tale repeating itself yet again? Because here's the kicker. For every Brian Urlacher and Devin Hester that has graced our sidelines, screaming through victories and crushing defeats, are we really just dust in the wind, destined to be erased by time? Or do we take this cryptic fortune and flip it charging forward into the unknown? You could feel the doubt creeping in like lake wind off Soldier Field in December, gnawing at the edges of what we think we know as the current squad begins to compete. Do you remember that raw pit in your stomach when we fell short in 2018? A moment so close yet so painfully far, wouldn't you rather stand with unyielding hope than cower under the shadow of yesterday's heartbreak? But here's the shocking twist. What if the very change we yearn for has already begun? A whisper of hope sparked by the energy swirling in the locker room and by the fiery words of our coaches, driving each young player to channel their fears into flames of fierce ambition? Are they ready to wield that legacy, to wear the weight of those iconic seasons woven tightly into our history? Because when we look back at the blood, sweat, and tears of 1985, we see a gang that didn't flinch, but stood firm. And if this team can bring that same grit into every tackle and every drive, then are we not simply waiting for the fuse to be lit? But as we venture down this path, I find myself haunted by a single question. Can we withstand the storm brewing in the current of this turbulent league? Or will we once again be cast as protagonists in our sorrowful saga, watching as another chance slips through our fingers like loose change lost in the deep seat cushions of our collective memory? Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to bid farewell to the fear that kept us trapped in cycles of despair and embrace a wild, daunting ride that perhaps, just perhaps, leads to long overdue liberation? Buckle up, because the answers we've been craving lie just beyond the fray, teetering on the edge of chaos, waiting for us to grab hold with bated breath.